Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Ayushi Paliwal from University of Delhi. So students, today we are going to talk on the module Scaling Laws in EM from the paper Physics at Nanoscale. So students, the learning objectives of this module are: first, we will study scaling in electricity and magnetism. Second, we will also discuss about the scaling in optics. So let us start with a basic introduction about the module. Electricity is the main source of power and driver for applications such as electrostatic and piezoelectric actuation, thermal resistance, heating, electrodynamic pumping, and electromechanical transduction. As in mechanical systems, it is possible to come up with the scaling laws in electrical systems in the terms of their characteristic length L. So, if it is assumed that the voltage V is constant and electric field over a length D, it is E is equal to V by D. This means that electric field scales as L to the power 1. Scaling of resistance and capacitance. Using Ohm's law, the current I, that is I is equal to V by R. That means I scales as L to the power 1, and so the current density J is equal to I by A. It will scale as L to the power minus 1. However, in a very high electric field, Ohm's law loses validity because the material's resistivity can vary with the electric field. The power dissipated by an electrical element W is defined by Joule's law, that is W is equal to Ri square. So as shown in this figure, that is R, resistance of the rod, is equal to rho L by A, where R scales as L to the power minus 1. In the case of capacitance, as shown in this figure, there are parallel plates, each of area of cross section capital A, and they are separated by a distance D, and in between the dielectric media is there, having a dielectric constant epsilon R. So C is equal to epsilon naught epsilon R A by D. Hence, capacitance scales as L to the power 1. Here epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space and epsilon R is the relative permittivity of the dielectric material between the plates and scales as L to the power 0. So the characteristics of an electrical circuit is governed by the basic units capacitor C and resistor R and their combination. For example, the time constant of a circuit is dependent on the product RC and governs the behavior of the circuit. So RC is proportional to L multiplied by L to the power minus 1 is proportional to L to the power 0. Hence, the time constant is independent of scaling. So students, let us now discuss the scaling in electricity and electromagnetism. The breakdown voltage in a parallel plate capacitor can be varied with the gap between the plates. An effect is known as the Paschen's effect. Paschen showed that the breakdown characteristics of a gap in a parallel plate configuration are a function of the product of the gas pressure and the gap length, usually written as V is equal to F multiplied by P multiplied by D, where P is the pressure and D is the gap. For air and gaps on the order of a millimeter, the breakdown is roughly a linear function of the gap length. So V is equal to 30 PD plus 1.35 kV, where D is in centimeters and P is in atmospheres. Though this empirical relation is quite valid in linear region, but the complete understanding of the mechanism of breakdown is still lacking. There has been extensive research to provide a theoretical basis for this law. Above linear empirical relation breaks down often, and following empirical relation has been obtained by fitting the experimental data, that is VB is equal to BPD divided by ln of APD minus ln of ln 1 plus 1 by gamma SE. So this figure shows the electromagnetic spectrum where the frequency is varying from 10 to the power 3 to 10 to the power 22 Hertz, and below axis shows the wavelength in meters. All these frequency ranges are showing the different waves, that is long waves, radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, ultraviolet waves, X-rays and gamma rays. So students, let us now discuss the scaling in optics. Scaling in optics is important both for small systems as well as devices used for investigating small systems such as microscopes. In micro-nano electronics, small devices can only be fabricated using photolithographic or E-beam lithographic techniques, in which photosensitive materials are selectively etched using light or electron beam. So this figure shows that when a light with the wavelength lambda passes through a small and a large opening, the width of each opening is represented by the characteristic dimension L opening. Light diverges at an angle theta, which is approximately equal to lambda by L. If L opening is much larger than the wavelength, the wave hardly diverges at all. If the light of wavelength lambda shines upon an object with a characteristic dimension L, the reflected wave diverges at an angle theta approximately equal to lambda by L. This is also the case if light passes through an opening with characteristic dimension L as shown in this figure. This means that theta scales as L inverse. Generally, lithography using light or electron beam is used to fabricate the artificial nanostructure. Hence, the scaling is important in deciding the capability of different lithographic techniques. So, now later we will discuss about the lithography technique, that is photolithography. Photolithography. In the case of photolithography, light is focused through a lens onto a surface to write a pre-designed patterns. A thin polymer film is spread over a surface of the sample on which the artificial nanostructure has to be created, and wherever the light hits the polymer hardens. When the unexposed polymer is washed away in a solvent, the hardened features remain. The exposed and unexposed areas give rise to a particular pattern. The minimum diameter of the spot size or irradiated zone is also the smallest feature one can write. So the characteristic dimension L of this feature is given by L is equal to 2 lambda divided by pi multiplied by NA, where lambda is the wavelength of the light and NA is the numerical aperture of the system that decides how sharp the angle of divergence would be. Now, the resolution delta of optical elements in microscopes is the smallest distinguishable distance between the two objects, and this resolution delta scales as L inverse. So now in photolithography we use the lenses, and the focal length of the lens is given by the lens maker's formula, which we already know, that is 1 by FL is equal to n minus 1 multiplied by 1 by RF minus 1 by RB, where n is the refractive index of the lens and RF and RB are the radii of curvature of the lens of front and back surfaces respectively. So here the focal length of the lens scales as L1. Now this figure shows the light diffraction in the photolithography setup with and without the lens. Now in the case of without the lens, the exposure systems typically produces an image on the wafer using a photo mask which blocks the light in some areas and allows it to pass in some other areas. Now when we are using a lens, then the photo mask transfers the image from it to the wafer. That is, we have less diffraction after focused by lens. So, students, in photolithography, the ability to project a highly resolved image of a small feature onto the wafer or any substrate is limited by the wavelength of the light used for photolithography and the ability of the reduction lens system to collect the maximum number of diffraction orders from the prefabricated illuminated mask. The minimum feature size, which is used as the scaling for different lithographic systems, is given by CD is equal to K1 multiplied by lambda by Na, where CD is the minimum feature size and K1 is the coefficient that depends on the process related factors. Na is the numerical aperture of the lens for collecting the diffracted lights from the aperture. So, in order to have higher resolution, photolithographic systems uses ultraviolet lights from the gas discharge lamps. So this in detail we will be discussing later on. In order to have a higher resolution, the photolithographic systems uses ultraviolet light from gas discharge lamps, which generally emits light across a broad spectrum with several strong peaks in the UV range. So, the spectrum in the UV range with several strong peaks, this spectrum is filtered to select a single spectral line. The most popular emission lines at 436 nanometer, that is G line, 405 nanometer H line and 365 nanometer I line are used from mercury lamps. Presently, the photolithography has been extended to feature the sizes below 50 nanometer using the 193 nanometer ARF laser. This graph shows how feature size decreases with the use of short wavelength lasers. Advancement of nanotechnology crucially depends on what is the minimum feature that can be created on a wafer or a substrate for the fabrication of nano devices, or more generally accessing the nano world. Electron beam lithography. The electron beam lithography provides better resolution and greater accuracy than photolithography. Electron beam lithography has been used for many years. Advanced semiconductor device fabrication and nanotechnology. So higher resolution is achieved by the small size of this focused beam and the ability to electronically control the electron beam provides higher accuracy over the pattern developed by photolithography. Generally, electron beam and optics in scanning electron microscopes is used for electron beam lithography. So the current distribution within the beam, it is Gaussian, and spots, they are overlapped to provide the smoothest features. A focused beam of electrons, it is used to draw custom features on the wafer or the substrate covered with an electron sensitive film called as resist. The chemical changes in the resist brought in by the electron beam enables the selective removal of either the exposed or non-exposed regions of the resist by immersing it in a suitable organic solvent such as acetone. So, as in the case of photolithography, the purpose of electron beam lithography is to create very small structures in the resist that can subsequently be transferred to the desired material. But the limit of the lithography can be extended to sub 10 nanometer resolution by electron beam lithography. Recently, atomic resolution has been achieved by electron beam lithography. Electron beam lithography, electron beam size. So students, this figure shows the schematic presentation of electron beam optics in the SEM based electron beam lithography. Electron beam deflection is achieved by the application of electrostatic or electromagnetic fields to move the beam in the desired direction to create certain feature. A differential voltage applied to the parallel plates results in a perpendicular field gradient which deflects the beam off axis. Hence, by varying the electric field, the degree of deflection of the beam can be varied. Similarly, varying the current through a set of deflection coils can also be used to deflect the electron beam off axis. The angular spread delta alpha in the deflection angle alpha due to differential voltage of delta V can be given by delta alpha is equal to delta V by 2V multiplied by alpha, and diffraction limited electron beam size is given by dd equal to 0.6 lambda by alpha, where lambda is the de Broglie wavelength of electron and lambda is equal to 1.2 multiplied by the Vb to the power minus half, where Vb is the accelerating voltage. So students, let us summarize what we have learnt in this module. First, using Ohm's law, the current I scales as L to the power 1, and so the current density, which is given by J is equal to I by A, it will scale as L to the power minus 1 in the case of capacitance of parallel plate capacitor, which scales as L to the power 1. Secondly, the scaling in optics is important both for small systems as well as devices used for investigating the small systems such as microscopes. Thirdly, we discussed about the lithography. Generally, lithography using light or electron beam is used to fabricate the artificial nanostructure. So hence, the scaling is important in deciding the capability of different lithographic techniques. Next, we discussed about the electron beam lithography, which provides better resolution and greater accuracy than photolithography. And E-beam lithography has been used for many years, advanced semiconductor device fabrication and nanotechnology. Lastly, we discussed that the higher resolution is achieved by the small size of focused electron beam and the ability to electromechanically control the electron beam, which provides higher accuracy over the pattern developed by photolithography. Thank you.